All right.
Here we are.
I'm recording.
You're recording, I'm recording, we are all recording. Hi, everybody. Chakra Incognita is back to the grind and back to all of you, and the channel is back. How do you like that? Chakra Incognita in her avatar as the birthday girl. Because Chakra Incognita is going to be birthday girl for the next few days. As long as she is in a mood to eat cake, she will think of herself as birthday girl. So feel free to wish me a happy birthday. But anyway, I come bearing good news. I have been away from all of you, away from this channel, and I've revived this channel, so to say. The channel never died. I mean, the channel was always there and it was stuffed with so many videos, and those videos are still waiting for all of you to come and enjoy them. But here I am. I have formally revived the channel by presenting myself to you as an old, weary, and maybe not so wise edition of myself. So you guys can tell me how I look, how you feel about seeing me. And here I have this wonderful friend of mine with whom I've always wanted to do a video. We've done an audio together. And yesterday he gave me a surprise by wishing me a happy birthday with this beautiful reel of, which goes back 9 years to when we first met in 2014, right, Kunal?
2015.
Did we met in 2014 or 15? Didn't we meet in 14? I was there in Karan's house and we had all met somewhere, right? With everybody wasn't that 14 or was it 15? We met in 14 and some of you were not talking to one another in 14. We went to some cafe somewhere, remember? Somewhere in CP only, we went to some cafe and we all ate something.
Yeah. At least in my case, I wasn't talking because, it was my first time with everyone and I was feeling quite awkward and anxious.
Yes. And we were all sitting there and looking at the food. So I don't remember what we ate, but anyway, everybody was talking to me.
Oh yeah, you were the social glue. You were the one that really brought
because
everyone
I had
together.
arrived from Kolkata. No, I had landed up in Delhi after so many years. Like after what, 20 years I was in Delhi. So I was excited to be there. I was excited to meet everybody, but everybody was shy, meeting me for the first time. So I think that's how it went. That's how that one went.
I remember now, yes.
Yes.
I remember we went to Cha Bar.
Was it Cha Bar? I don't remember where we went. Listen, audience, you have to listen to all this. You have to bear with us. Because when two very old, what shall we even say? I mean, we are much more than friends. We are family to each other. And Kunal is part of Team Chakra. He's worked as a major resource on Chakratitha travels for some very important trips that we had, client trips we had. So Kunal and I go back forever. But anyway, that was the first time we met and you were shy. Definitely you were shy.
I was shy. And there was, this is back in 2014.
We even met Nick Neutron. Remember, we went to a mall and we met Nick Neutron.
And Neha Mishra.
Yes, you remember all that, right?
I have the video with me. I was watching that.
You have that video.
With Nick and Neha.
But then we were all shy. No, I was not shy. But the rest of
you were not
shy. You were all shy. But Nick Neutron was not shy. But everyone else was shy. Hi, Nick Neutron. If you're watching this, I really miss you. It's been a couple of years since we connected. I'm really missing you. So if somebody
was really fun.
If somebody can round up Nick Neutron and bring him back into the circle, then it'll be wonderful. So anyway, then in 15...
We're going to track Nick down.
I know someone who knows Nick. Deborshi Dasgupta knows Nick. He has to do the tracking.
Okay.
They were schoolmates.
So we have...
Yes.
Private
So,
investigator now.
yeah, we've got to track Nick anyway. So, because Nick didn't respond to the message to his number. So, anyway, here we are. Then come 15. 15, I was checked into that shady hotel in
Yes.
Paharganj. That's when it
Paharganj.
started in 15.
Yeah.
15 is
Okay. Yeah.
when 15 is when you surprised me by waking up very early in the morning.
Yes.
6:30, you were asked to report near that a particular flyover, Mulchand. Was that it?
Mulchan flyover there.
Right. And
Yeah.
I was to have
That's
picked you
where.
up and taken you to the airport to pick up Kim and Leon. And I was pretty damn sure you were going to ditch because you were not in the habit of waking up early. But there you were standing there waiting, eagerly waiting for the car to come. And that car also was from one of those uncles.
Oh, the friendly uncle.
The
Yes.
Since 2015 we've been using those, like 2015 and 17 we were relying on those uncles. And who were those uncles? They were Amarinder's uncles, if you remember right.
Amrinder.
Shout out to you,
Yes.
Amrinder, wherever you are. The
Amrinder.
last I knew, you were in Italy. I don't know where you are now, but hi anyway. So he was the supplier of uncles, and uncles were the supplier of vehicles. So we took one of those cars from the uncle and we headed for the airport. At the airport, we met Greenpeace auntie.
Oh, yes.
Before we met
Yes.
Greenpeace auntie, we had tea and pakoras at the driver's lounge. We
The
were
driver's lounge.
extremely
Superb.
hungry. You had got up at 6:30, and I don't think I got any breakfast at that shady hotel at 6:30. So whatever it is, we needed food.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we
Also,
looked
we were
around for
waiting.
food, and there were these weird cafes. We didn't want to go to them. So straight
Expensive. Yeah.
there, where our uncle had parked the car, we found this amazing place where all these drivers were chilling. The drivers' lounge.
Yeah.
And we headed straight there, and those drivers were so warm and welcoming. They called us in and we sat down with them, and we had the best pakoras and tea of our lives. That was our
It was
breakfast. And
amazing.
then we were geared up to meet Kim and Leon. And that's when at the arrival gate, there was this Greenpeace auntie. Why did we call her Greenpeace auntie?
She was wearing a green sari, I remember.
She was
She
wearing a
was wearing
green
some
sari
kind of
and giving
suit.
us these.
Yeah.
We were, as usual, talking a lot of politically incorrect stuff. And
Yeah.
she was glaring at us.
She was
She
glaring
was
at us. She was
glaring
not
at
giving.
us. Yeah, she was glaring at us, like those typical NGO ladies, who have this big, huge complex about saving the world.
Yeah.
So she was,
Yeah.
she had that typical look. Possibly she
Yeah.
was a completely harmless woman. But we made up this narrative in our heads about who she was, why she's looking the way she is, and maybe she was just nosy and staring at us, but we had our story ready about her. And that's
I
exactly
think
how my dear friends who are listening to this, creative people, spin their stories. That's exactly how we all spin our little stories. Our self talk stories, the stories we tell the world, our interpretation of what we see. Okay, she's staring at us. She must be evil or whatever. We've
she must
already
be.
made that up in our heads. That's exactly
Yeah.
how Greenpeace Auntie came to be Greenpeace Auntie.
Exactly.
And you see,
And
I tell you what we were doing. We were referring in our usual affectionate way to our foreign guests soon to arrive as Goras.
the Goras.
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, I get it now. See, there was a domestic arrival gate, okay, and there was another arrival gate. That was when the airports were far smaller. Now you have these 50 terminals and you don't know where you're going to pick up people. But that time there were these gates, and I think we found ourselves at the wrong gate.
Yes. And we had to walk
So
our
we
way
had to
back.
walk
Yeah.
to what we called the Gora Gate.
The
Because
Gora Gate.
that we very in our stupidity and crudeness named the international arrivals gate the Gora Gate.
Yeah.
Because
Because there were so many Goras.
we were waiting the arrival of a flight which was carrying Goras. It was as simple as that.
Simple as that.
The international arrival comes from all over the world, yeah. What does it have to do with Goras? But we were bad and stupid and
We were.
childish and irreverent and we subversive and transgressive and all the bad words. Because Kunal and Chakra, when we get together, we are bound to be all those horrible things. So we decided we called it that, and every time we said Gora Gate, we got a dirty look.
Yeah, from
Remember
green tea
that? Remember
plantation.
that? You remember her face.
Yeah, I remember she was standing to our right, and she always, every time we said something, she was just, gave us this look. She didn't even say anything. She just gave us because we were so loud and we were
Uh-huh.
so,
But
dare I
anyway,
say,
this is
obnoxious.
this is as far back as Kunal and I go. Like I was not particularly young then, but I behaved like I was 14 years old, and Kunal behaved like he was 5. So between the two of us, we were a riot. Anyway, finally our guests arrived, and imagine the excitement.
Ah,
And
yes.
it was welcome to Delhi and see this, see that, all the way on the drive. Remember how we were irritating them? We must take you to this, we must take you to that, every little thing that we passed by, and Leon saying, ah, this city is so green,
So
this city
green.
is so green. He was so excited. I mean, if he were to see the AQI now,
Yeah.
we shouldn't tell him.
Well, we shouldn't.
And
Yeah.
Colleen,
It's
this is
pretty
a
bad.
shout out to you. Colleen is our beloved friend Colleen, who is in Kolkata right now. Many of you know her. And Colleen is heading for Delhi. So Kunal, you better clean the air up before Colleen arrives. You got to try
I'm
work
gonna
your magic and use your jharu and whatever else and
clean everything.
sweep out all that muck from the air. Otherwise, she won't be
Yeah.
able to land there. We've got to do something about that. Anyway,
Yeah, we're
so
gonna.
dear people, now meet Kunal Koli. Kunal, tell them a few words about yourself. Kunal is my
Oh,
partner now on the upcoming shows. And this is different from our Roger and Chakra show. That show remains. This
the
show is
spin-off.
going. What's happened? Some
Nothing.
strange noise came in between. You heard that?
I didn't hear anything.
I heard a weird
Uh,
sound.
it could
Like,
be
like I
my
heard
mic. Maybe I
something
think
like
my
a
mic.
ghost coughing.
You're
Anyway,
scaring me
so
now. It's
this is not exactly a Kunal and Chakra show, but then Kunal is going to be my partner on plenty of these videos. And Kunal also is a magnificent editor. So you're going to get some high quality professional videos coming out of the channel. So Kunal, tell everybody about yourself and why it's so
hello.
important for you to work on this project with Chakra.
Well, you're putting me in the spot, but hello.
Hmm.
My name is Kunal. I'm not just a video editor. I'm what someone would say a post-production specialist. I
Hmm.
am someone who really understands the process of post production. I work on animations, and I like just kind of all the various mediums and kind of ways I can tell a story. So it's not just a video. I could always I could create like 2D animation. I'm learning 3D as well. Just I probably call myself a storyteller who uses all these modern tools to um tell just a story. I don't know, it doesn't even have to be based on in reality. It could be just something that I came up with. Um, so this is what I do. And when I met Maya was when I just kind of was um, in the beginning stage of my career. I was just still figuring it out. And what really kept me going was just the sheer reaction Maya, Kim, Dion, Colleen, everyone would have. Whenever I shared my work, it could be just a YouTube video or it could be anything that I worked on. Just the kind of encouragement and these people really believed in me. So if it wasn't for them, I'd probably have changed my career a long time ago. And I don't know which boring path I'd have taken. I'm glad I took this more fun, more just it's an uncertain path, but that's the more fun part. Like if it was a more conventional path, I think I'd be really bored. Other than that, yeah, I mean, I this is usually what I'm doing. If I'm not on a Zoom call with Maya, I'm on a Zoom call with one of my clients online. And usually everyone's um, pretty convinced that I can really tell a story. And Maya and I, when we get together, we have so many things to talk about. We could just on the spot create something, just these characters and these vivid storylines and plots and uh just and also what Maya and I do is when we're together, we look at our surroundings, the general environment, if there's a monument or not, and we try to figure out like what's the story behind this. Well, all the people that have visited and have been here a long time ago and will be here in the future. you know it's just um the kind of it takes imagination, but it also takes just um appreciating just the amount of things happening in a human being's life and just multiply it by like billion fold, because those are the kind of stories happening as we speak. And it is our job to kind of pick up all the interesting ones, and even not the not so interesting ones, and just kind of um because I mean it's quite heartbreaking to also think about all the stories that we will never hear about, all the people and all the joys that they experience, the sorrows, the grief. So I'm just trying to like collect berries as much as I can and fill up my basket and just share it with everyone. That's what I do.
I think this fits in so well with what I do because, like, you're talking about these, what you call these not so interesting ones. Is there anything that is not so interesting? I mean, I believe all of creation is fascinating. So
E-
it's so
Everything.
much, is about how we perceive what is going on around us, how we interpret, how we convey, how we write our story. This very there are people around you having what is apparently an uneventful life, and here you are, you're conveying their story in such a way that people sit up and tune in and get interested in those people who are apparently just some people. You wouldn't even pay attention to them, but no, I think we draw your attention to those people. You see, you even look at heritage. People are always chasing these, what you call, these magnificent buildings, and saying, we have all this heritage. And yet, there's what you call, a very ordinary person has their family stories. There's very rich lore in every family that you meet. Speak to
Yeah.
anybody, he or she will tell you an amazing story about themselves, about their ancestors, about what they learned from them. Just give them a chance to open up. And it's all these stories we want to weave, which I see as the tapestry of heritage. These stories have to be presented to people and passed down. And the whole concept, heritage being about the future. I've said this over and over. I mean, I know we are hopping topics a lot, but that's our way of doing things too. And it's everyone who's watching this knows that my main interest in life is heritage. I am living heritage, and I am all about heritage. What I've inherited, what you've inherited, what we have in, what we are destroying. We are destroying the world as we knew it, and this has to stop. We have to pay attention, and we have to respect what's around us, what came before, what we would like to pass down. And this whole thing about, when I say heritage, people have this picture of the Taj Mahal, or whatever, but then it's something else I'm talking about. It's this, even today I wasn't on a trail. I was running an errand, very compulsive errand. I mean, I wasn't at all in a mood to go out. But I had to step out, and I just grabbed Bridget, my phone, which is now exceeding my expectations, considering the very poor camera quality. Somehow I make her work for me, and she manages to grab all those beautiful pictures which all of you are buzzing around. Some of you even want to have said you want to make artwork based on those. So I am really giving this girl a pat on the back. I mean, after Chloe, I didn't. Chloe is my earlier phone that had almost twice the resolution of this one. So I was very disappointed with this phone initially, but then I said, look, there's a lot. What you convey is as much about you as about the phone. And whatever the phone's limitations, and this is what I tell people also, whatever your limitations, you can actually make something phenomenal out of yourself. And this is what I am, which brings me to spirit spiral healing, which people ask me, what is it that you're talking about? No, this is not not some medical technology that I'm using. This has a whole lot to do with my philosophy of wholeness, that we are always on this journey towards wholeness. Bits and pieces will break, bits and pieces will heal. So it's a continuous process of healing. And it's the same thing. I mean, I have found wholeness in my relationship with this sweet little Bridget, who has a very poor resolution camera. And I'm making the best of this and giving you all these fabulous pictures. And people are liking my pictures even more than they used to when I click them on Chloe, or, from those age old pictures, which means that I am doing something. I'm doing something important here. I'm making Bridget work for me, and she's working for
Yeah.
me. So you see, that's, and what I can't get to work, I'm sure Kunal with his editing skills can do something about it. In case there's something a little wanting in any of the pictures. So personally, I don't want pictures to be edited much, because the way I have evolved, I used to think very differently earlier. I used to think a picture had to have a modicum of prettiness. We have certain concept of what is aesthetic, but that somehow has changed in the last 2 to 3 years. I seem to have evolved beyond that. So if you notice, the kind of photos I post now also are pretty raw. You're going to be seeing a lot of flaws in the scenario, which also are part of the scenario, and I want you to see them. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Kunal will have his take on this, and Zoom, of course, is already making threatening noises. So we need to wrap this session up politely. And Kunal, you say a few words and then I'll actually wrap up. Otherwise, Zoom always says 10 minutes but throws us out in 7. I've experienced that. So go for
I
it.
just add just a little bit to what you just said. This uh, number one, what I feel is, a photograph or even just an object, um, it has meaning when there is someone to find meaning in it. Um, w- you know, so it reminded me immediately of something something trivial from my life, but with time, as time progressed, um, pictures, images that were trivial, that people complained about. So what I used to do is, my school friends, we used to, whenever we hung out together, we click hundreds to hundreds of pictures of random, just us doing whatever. It would be blurred. It would be us not even, framed properly. We would be making a funny face, whatnot, but it would be
Hmm.
random, and and I would just upload all of them. I would not choose the best of them, or the best five or anything. I would just upload all 200 of them, and then people on my Facebook account would kind of ask me why I upload all of that. So at the moment, I never thought about it. I just uploaded whatever because I found it funny, to just upload whatever. But over the years, I would say, let's say 10 years later, now I look back on those photos. I am glad I uploaded everything, all
Right,
200 of those, because
right,
now I'm
right,
looking
right.
back. It's a time gone by. It's, a few of those people we're not friends with, or we've, it's just so many memories, the places our hauntings, basically. All of those, at the moment when they were being clicked and uploaded, they didn't have that kind of significance, because I feel like, personally, I took all of that for granted. I took those people for granted. I took those places, and now 10 years later, um, we barely meet all of those friends. We are still friends, but we barely meet, maybe once a year, from once a week or once a month. It's just all the way down to once a year. And I'm constantly looking back, and now I find a deeper, greater, more, um, there's a bit of grief, I feel whenever I look at those pictures, because the moment I look at a picture, I am immediately brought back. I hear the sounds, I hear everything, I hear, you know uh, whatever quarrel we had, the quarrels and the arguments that we had at that time, those feel of no significance now, 10 years later. It's only those pictures and all the good memories, and so I've realized. And if I handed those 200 pictures to someone else, they would mean nothing to that person, because they don't know, again, the significance, the story, and like, they might not find beauty. They might find beauty in those pictures in their own different, unique way, because of their own experiences. But that's something I realized. It's not just, it could be a picture, it could be, anything. For example, I still have the little postcard that Leon and Kim wrote for me. I still have the little letter that Maya wrote for me, when I in my capacity, I donated 100 rupees to my Chakratita
Chakratitha.
travels when we,
Yes.
yeah, because that's all I could afford. And Maya wrote a very loving, just a little message for me, behind the CTT card, and
Hmm.
I still have the card.
Oh, that is
Um,
so awesome. Please show that card on the next show. And soon
I'll try.
Zoom is just about to throw us out.
Yeah, my screen is flickering, right?
Yeah, your screen is flickering and I'm scared it'll throw us out. So we should say our goodbyes.
All right. Is it okay if I change to something static, like an image
You
of
can,
me just
yeah, you
looking?
can change to anything, but we have about 1 minute in hand. So,
Yes. Okay, let's
yeah,
wrap up.
yeah. So keep talking. Shall I wrap up then? And next time you have to show the card.
I will keep the card ready. I have it
Keep
in,
the
I
card
always
ready
keep
next time. Next time, incidentally, is tomorrow. We are going to be doing this show every evening now for a few days.
every
Are
evening.
you up for it,
Okay,
Kunal?
I can do tomorrow.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can do
I'm up
tomorrow.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll do tomorrow again. And now I have to say bye bye to all of you. This is kind of, abrupt maybe, but before I end, I just have to give a shout out to Piali Mondol for the sari. The sari looks really beautiful. Don't you agree, Kunal?
It looks amazing. And
It's
it reminds me
yeah,
of your,
my friend makes these. She has these made. They are batik made
wow,
in some village in West Bengal. So I got this.
amazing.
Yeah, they are amazing. So I'll also post the link under the video so people can follow her. But it's really lovely. So take a look. I don't know if I can,
Yeah,
if it shows up here. Take a look, everyone.
wow. And this is all done by hand. And that's what I
Yeah,
mean. I really like it. It
yeah, it's
it reminds me
beautiful.
of
No, let me stand up
yeah,
and show also.
yes.
This doesn't really, I have to move very far to show it. But anyway,
No
that's it.
problem.
So, birthday girl and birthday sari. And this is the first of the birthday series. So, I hope that this means a very joyful rebirth for everyone. When you wake up in the morning, take it you're reborn. That's what we wish. Kunal and Chakra are wishing you this. Look
Yeah.
forward to a new day. It's a totally new canvas. Paint on it, paint your heart out.
Paint on.
Good night,
Yeah.
everybody. Lots of love.
Bye bye. Good night.
Bye.